So we're up to day 14 now. We're 2 weeks in, and today is a active recovery day yet again. I'm still recovering from finishing that weightlifting program. What I wanted to incorporate today was a little bit more dynamic warm-ups, kind of similar to what I would do before I do a sprint session. Just so I can get into the habit of doing a more dynamic warm-up with just my body and, just mobilizing all of the joints, especially in the lower body. I didn't do too many exercises. I just do the kind of stuff that I would usually do before any kind of sprinting or jumping session, just to make sure my body's feeling good, feeling fresh, explosive, and ready to produce force. And for every single workout this week so far, I haven't been working off of a program or a plan or anything like that. I've pretty much just been creatively messing around with whatever I feel like my body needs. For the most part, that's going to be some kind of squatting, some kind of hinging, some kind of pushing, some kind of pulling, and then accessories and unilateral components. That's what my body needs at the moment, especially since I've just come off a weightlifting program where everything's bilateral. And, in that sagittal plane, so I'm just trying to mix up everything so that I'm getting a good variety of movements and really conditioning and preparing my body for the high intensity jumping and sprinting phase that's coming next. And speaking of jumping and tricking, I'm actually going to go tomorrow to a gymnastics class, which is at a trampoline center very, very near to my house. And I'm really excited for it, actually, and I wanted to practice a couple of tricks. One of them is a running Webster, and another one is an aerial. So an aerial is kind of like a cartwheel, where you do a cartwheel, but you don't use any hands. So you flip over, you jump off of your left foot, and you land on your right foot. You're sort of doing a cartwheel in the same way, you just don't touch the ground with your hands at all. And I really, really want to get these tricks down. And the only barrier that's kind of been preventing me from practicing, I'm really, really excited. I've always loved tricking and jumping. It's just something that I've always been absolutely fascinated with and I love doing. But the biggest barrier is just the fear of doing it on a hard surface and just breaking my neck or not landing the tricks properly. I had a bad experience with doing Websters in the past where I'd flip and I would literally land on the right side of my hip. And it created a great deal of pain for me in that area for a very, very long time. I think it's because it completely just offset my pelvis. And that right ilium of my pelvis was just slightly shifted in the wrong way. But that was creating a great deal of pain for me, which I'm only sort of just starting now to recover from. So I really do like to make sure that I've got a soft environment where I can practice flips so that I don't have any fear of failure, because then if I do fail, I won't fall and break anything or injure myself and prevent myself from doing all the other things that I like doing, i.e. weightlifting, squatting, sprinting, jumping, so on and so forth. So yeah, stay tuned tomorrow for that. I'll see if I can record in there. They might be a bit funny about recording in there when it comes to, there might be like another kids session or something. So, I'm not sure about bringing the camera in and being able to record, but we'll see what I can do. And yeah, stay tuned for that tomorrow. And with regards to the rest of this workout, it was bench press supersetted with some inverted rows, making sure that we're doing it nice and explosively to activate those high threshold motor units, producing force really, really fast, really, really quickly. I did 2 sets of 10 apiece. And then after I did the bench press and the inverted rows, I literally just finished up with some skipping, some snatch complex, and some loo raises. Again, just mixing and matching. There was no real plan. There was no real sort of scheme to what I was doing today. It's just as much diverse movements as I can. Whatever I felt like doing, whatever felt fun. That is, that is the real one of the things I love about working out. You can just sort of treat your body like a canvas, and you can create art with it. You can draw art on your body by doing different exercises. So whether that's weightlifting, whether that's lifting heavy weights, whether that's moving or jumping in a certain way, I just like to mix it up and do whatever I can when I'm doing this type of session. And I always have fun with it. And the snatch complex was really just to make sure that my upper back and my shoulders were still feeling good in that snatch and overhead position. And the same thing with the overhead squats. I know it sounds stupid to think that you forget how to do a snatch if you don't do it for a week, but especially in the early phases, which is what I am, I'm still kind of a beginner when it comes to weightlifting movements. It is important to keep on practicing the movement pattern as much as you can. It's important not to have like excessive amounts of time off. I know a week's not that long, but it does make sense to keep mobilizing through that specific range of motion. It's not often in everyday life you'll hold a barbell or any bar-shaped object above your head. So it would make sense just every now and again just to do 10 or 20 reps just to practice it. But I'll be moving back into doing the weightlifting movements, although they won't necessarily be the full snatch and the full clean and jerk. It will be the power versions of the movements, the high hang and the power versions of the movements. And then I finished up with some Nordics to help to condition my hamstrings, to prevent any strains from sprinting, because sprinting can be very, very tough on the hamstrings. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for the next one.